You open them when you open mine.
Did you ask for these?
Yeah.
No, you didn't actually.
You live? You watching you eat?
Kids be doing too much.
No, they're watching you eat that.
Yeah. Honey, why are you licking the table?
I'm getting meat off.
Need an assessment.
Your Wi-Fi sucks.
Hey y'all, hey. I am, first of all,
So you're eating tacos.
we've been eating tacos for 2 days.
Yeah, because we don't have anything else that I want to eat.
Oh, okay. Glad you fixed that.
What?
We don't have anything else that you want to eat. Hey, King Juan.
This Wi-Fi sucks.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hi.
Y'all, thank you, Nidra girl. My taco, I made me a beef taco and a birria taco. Honey, thank you, Lord Jesus. Hey, Greg, do I really make custom cakes? I really make custom treats. I'm not a cake maker, but I make custom treats. So if you wanted some Hello Kitty other things, cake pops, sugar cookies, Oreos, pretzel rods, Rice Krispie treats, cupcakes, I'm your girl. Donuts. But I used to do cakes, and that's just not my thing. I just have chosen not to do them anymore. It's too time consuming. Hey, Aunt Cherry. Boosie is eating. Okay. I can't see you.
No.
I can see that mullet from Mars. Ciao. So, anyway, y'all, I wanted to come on here real quick and tell y'all because I'm super duper. Thank you, girl. My shirt.
This Wi-Fi sucks.
Thank y'all. Yes, honey. Love Jones. Yes, honey. Wait a minute. Where's Z? Why you can say that? What's Zaria? Yeah. Zaria is, honey, somewhere off mind of her. I don't even know. I'm sitting here mumbling and fumbling. I really don't know where she is. Zaria came, dropped something off, and
Never came back.
And gone again.
Never came back.
Ayden is still at school.
Practice.
Carly is at school, and
No, yeah.
oh God, just
What time is it?
stick a needle in my eye. Oh. Y'all, like, where do the babies come from? Like, you have 23-year-olds and almost 16-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then all of a sudden you be like, oh yeah, they're all just out and about. And then,
Hello.
the hell you come from? Like, where did you come? When did you get here? And why are you still damn 8? You ain't 18 yet. There's no way that you still this damn young. Like right about now, I could be chilling you know, just peaceful, you know, chilling. I could probably be on an island right now, sipping a mai tai, minding my business.
Exactly.
And
But
thank you, Nicole. Yes, honey. A personal assistant at this point. Boosie just... Yes, Boosie is going to be playing baseball this year. Yes, Boosie is going to be playing baseball this year. And I wanted to sponsor the team this year, y'all. So I wanted it to be sponsored by Raising Cultures. But my husband, y'all, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, my husband is like the ultimate Capricorn. So, you know, I told my husband last year when they ended the season, I said, I want to sponsor the team next year. So he's like, okay. So I've been asking him, let's sponsor Boosie's baseball team. Let's sponsor Boosie's baseball team. So this year he was like, well, we ain't going to be able to sponsor the team this year. So I said, dang, we missed it. We missed it again. He was like, nah, you see them prices. So I was like, no, because you're in charge of that part. So, you know, how much is it to sponsor the team? Now, I have an idea in my mind because what they told us last year. Y'all, why they only go up $25? And Ricardo like, I said $25. If we stop drinking Dunkin' for 1 week, 3 days.
Yeah, more like that.
I thought they had went up like $500. $25, y'all. So I said, okay then, child. So I don't know. But hopefully this year he will run the bases.
No.
Get some RBIs.
What are those?
Slide into home run.
No.
Hit the ball in the outfield. Or bunt it, something. Instead of dancing out there doing Miguel Jackson moves, spinning, throwing dirt up like he a damn magician, spinning around, picking flowers. I mean, doing all this stuff. Down on the base like he getting ready to run a track meet. So hopefully this year is going to be better on the baseball field. I hope he's going to be a little bit more focused, take it a little bit more seriously.
Why?
Because if after this year, if he's still twisting and turning and shouting, then he's going in dance. You're going to be in dance and damn tumble.
No.
You do too much flipping, rolling, dancing, throwing up dirt, doing all kind of stuff. He do every damn thing but play baseball. And here I am just stupidly handing my money over to the people every year. Just take my damn money because he ain't learning a diggity dog thing. What's one thing you've learned in baseball since you've been in it since you were 5?
Nothing.
I know.
No.
Carrying them big coolers filled with Gatorade, sitting out there in that hot ass sun with my hater blockers on. And baseball mom life is not for the weak of heart. Okay? Honey, they be out there doing some real cussing. They don't play. I'm out there, I just be laughing because I don't sit nowhere near anybody. Because I don't like talking to people when I'm outside.
Why?
Because if I start talking to people, then somebody gonna guarantee to upset my spirit. And now I'm cussing with them.
Did you get smacked?
Who gonna get smacked? Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then, so if somebody smack me, then what?
I smack him.
You gonna smack them? Oh, okay. Okay.
Then I smack you.
Yeah, okay. So, honey, I just feel like they just be, bye. See you. Peace and God be
I
with you.
can't skill me.
They just be doing a lot out there on that baseball field, child.
Skill me.
They don't sit down.
Because we don't like it.
I ain't talking about the kids. But y'all don't sit down in the dugout either.
We don't sit down.
But yeah, I don't know. And then Ayden want to do outdoor track. You know, he ain't indoor track. He want to do outdoor track. And I hate outdoor track. I hate indoor track, but it's better than outdoor track. So I just hate track. At this point, I just hate all sports. Why don't y'all want to be on the damn debate team?
What's that?
What's that? You'll be good at it. Go to the spelling bee or something. Do something like that. Why you want to be outside?
I can't spell.
Princeton, please.
But I can't. La 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 la.
It's no way. When I was crying in the middle of the night.
You what?
Yeah, I was crying in the middle of the night.
When?
Probably 10 years ago now.
In 2026?
It's no way when I was crying in the middle of the night 10 years ago. Ugly crying. Out to God. I can't have no kids. I can't have no more kids. That God was fashioning this one. It's no way God was like, hold your horses. You just wait. You just wait, baby. Dry them tears. Because, honey, he coming. You just wait a minute. There's no way that this mug is the one that I was doing all that hemming and hawing over.
You was.
I was. You right. You right. I was. You right. You right. You said you was and was. Does he like karate?
No! What?
No, but I do.
What?
I like karate.
Karate, you mean?
Karate chop you in your throat. I do. Anything. I go back to Street Fighter. Just so I can fight him and Ayden. Thank you, CJ. Thank you. But y'all, I had came on here because I got some good news. Y'all know I don't never really have no good news here lately with my medical situation. But I got some good
You have to wash
news.
my hips.
Say another word.
Say another word.
Yeah, say one. Get that,
Another
finish
word.
eating it and go that way.
Another word.
Do this face look like I'm playing? If you want some chips, go get it.
Kit Kat.
No, because you're not getting my chips.
I said Kit Kat.
So y'all know that Boosie was diagnosed with SEPA,
Just bump on my
which is a pain disorder where you have insensitivity to pain. That means you cannot feel or don't feel or process pain the way that, you know, people typically process pain. And if you're an OG Cyber Family member or you just have gone back and watched old videos.
It's called whatever.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that information. If you go, Boosie's been in swim lessons.
Yeah, but I don't like it. I don't like my stick head and the like that.
He's never passed the class.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't, because you will not do. He won't do the last test. You want to know what the last test is?
Right.
Stick your head up under the water. He won't do that. So he's in swim class with the 4 and 5 year olds every year.
No, I did stick my head under water.
And you didn't keep it under there for the amount of time that you have. You're supposed to keep your head under the water at least 15 seconds in the first round.
Oh yeah, no. What was the second round?
You ain't make it to the second round any year. He's been in swim lessons since he was 5. He's 8. So I don't think swimming.
It's only been 3 years. 3 years is not
Right. 3 years is a lot
That's not.
for you to pass the class and go
1, 2,
to.
3.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
Okay, well, he won't be
1
going
month.
back. I don't care if he don't know how to swim or not. He just won't go in the damn water. You'll just be sick. And I know how to swim, but I don't like to go in the water. So you'll be sitting up there with me and watching the other children play in the water. So so I thought what would motivate him when we was doing the swimming lessons is Ayden passed his swim lessons thing. He passed his swim lessons. Ayden knows how to swim. He's good. So Ayden's problem used to be he wanted to hurry up, y'all. My kids are these kids crazy as hell. Y'all be wanting to know why I called them the damn children of the corn. When I first put Ayden in swim lessons, he was 5.5, something like that. He wanted to finish the class in one day. So he almost drowned him damn self. He almost drowned himself trying to outdo the damn teacher. The lady said, come up. Come, you only have to do 15 seconds. Now you about to have me jump in the damn water. Can I go to the third? No, you go from 1 to 2. 1 to 2, you don't skip to 3. Because he want to go down the little water slide. You can't go down the water slide until you've passed 5 lessons, 5 classes. He wants to go down the water slide and thought once he did this one little day, one class, he would be able to go down the water slide. I said, no, it is a 12-week course and it's 5 sessions of 12 weeks. So Ayden about drowned himself several times to get to the finish line. Child,
Wait, what was 5? Then what's 5?
It don't matter because you'll never get there. You'll be sitting on the sideline.
Hey!
You wanted to be 5. You know you're not. You did, but you won't do that.
Why?
So Ayden, so this last year when I put Boosie in swim lessons, I said
I didn't even get 12 weeks.
no, you didn't get 12 weeks because you wouldn't
started
do right. So I said,
can I get some more Robux?
I said, Boosie, Ayden's gonna be in the big kid pool area this year, right?
I said I don't care.
He did say that. I said, and they got all the water slides down there.
Hey,
You're up here with the babies in the wading pool with the little shower coming down over your, like the little shower thing.
I still don't like it.
So I said, if you want to go down the water slides over there with Ayden, then you have to go through the swim lessons. He was like, I don't care to go down the water slides with Ayden. I don't want to do it. I don't like. So we're sitting up there with the damn babies, literally 1-year-olds, because it's 1 feet of water.
No,
Little 1-year-olds with big blowed up diapers. You think I want to sit up there? Y'all, it is nothing more annoying than sitting up there with the babies. I'd rather be down there with the damn teenagers acting a fool in the water versus with them babies. Because I got a kitty watch. I watch everybody's baby. I'd be like, oh, she walking too far out there in the water. Get, Lord. And they crying. And then, at some point they call, everybody got to get out the pool, take a, what is it called? Some kind of break. Like a water break or something. Like you have to take a break when it's, in the summertime. You take a break for like 5 minutes.
No, 15 or 10.
However long. So the teenagers, of course, they understand that. The teenagers, whatever, the preteens, they get right out the water. Like them damn babies. Oh, they get the hollering, flailing. And at that point, when they do their first break, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm like, oh no, baby, my mind is.
I scream.
Okay. So that's where we are. We're sitting in the wading pool. We're wading in the water. Because Pete the cat don't want to get in the water.
Who that? That me? That Ayden?
No, you.
That's cat?
So.
I hate you, Top.
Yeah, there's that. We didn't try that before. So anyway. We get some good news, y'all. So if y'all know, OG Cyber family members, some of y'all do know, some of y'all don't. When Boosie was, he's never experienced pain as a baby, right?
No.
So I did not know when he was sick. But I would always take him to the doctor. He would always have double ear infections. And I'm just like, no way. It's no way that he would have a double ear infection and I wouldn't know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids that have ear infections are miserable. So they're constantly crying, pulling their ears. Their ears might be high. I mean, y'all know the signs, right? And so, we go to the doctor for just a regular, 3-month checkup, 6-month checkup, whatever. Every time we would go to the doctor, double ear infection. I'm like, what? I said, this baby is not even crying. And that was another thing. This has taught me so much, because I was like, I will never, ever again say that, Princeton, scream again, you go into your room. I'm done with that. I will never again say that a good baby is a baby that don't cry, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, because babies are supposed to cry. They do need to cry. Those cries alert us to something that is going on. That's how they communicate. But people just, oh, he's such a good baby, or she's such a good baby because she don't cry, or she don't, all these things. But babies need to cry because that's how they communicate. But he would never cry. He never cried as a baby, ever. And so, I'm like, okay, so he's not crying. He's not, pulling on his ears or whatever. And I'm like, he's got an ear infection, but he's taking medication for it. And so I'm like, what is going on? Like, okay. But it never really dawned on me. And so he gets a little bit older. Maybe he's 2.5. And I start to see some milestones. He was lacking in milestones. He's not talking. The sounds are not coming out the way that I would assume at 2. Kids can talk pretty clearly. For a 2-year-old, y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, they could say little words and piece things together. Boosie could not. He could not talk because he could not hear. We didn't know that either. He literally could not hear. They had to operate on his ears in order to get his earlobe passages opened. So he would just make sounds that, and everybody had a name that he would just assume that it was, whatever. So that's how, the whole sign language thing started, all these things. So anyway, we never really knew any of this until one day, one of the older kids, I can't remember, left a glass in the bathroom. And I heard something, boom, shatter. I didn't really know what it was. So he comes to me with glass in his hand, squeezing it real tight, like holding on to it for dear life. And blood is running, gushing down his arm. And I'm like, now I'm freaking out. I'm panicking. And he opens his hand up and it's glass. And I'm looking at him like, this don't hurt you? You ain't hurt. I'm crying. But he's just like, here, mommy, like, here, glass, like, and so I'm like, what? And so, like, after my initial shock and panic wore off, because it didn't even dawn on me that he wasn't crying because I was in such a shock. I was like, who left the glass in the bathroom? Oh my gosh, the baby is bleeding. He's hurt. And he was like, We take him to the hospital. He, they clean his hand or whatever. He had to get a couple stitches in his hand and all these things. And meanwhile, he is just sitting there like a little trooper. Just, So I'm like, I said, no, wait one doggone minute. Mind you, he would play extremely rough when he was a little kid. You would play extremely rough when you was a little kid. Right here. Right in this little gap right there.
This one too?
No, why your hand look red and swollen?
I don't know. Let's get my hand to it now, cause yeah.
Boosie, be for real. You know what? So I said, okay, so he would be extremely rough with other kids. Now I know it's because he didn't feel pain, so he couldn't understand another person's pain. Like, he didn't know that he was hurting them, so he would go really hard and he would think that he was playing. And so my daddy used to play with him And Boosie used to be so rough. And I remember as tough as my daddy is, y'all. I, you know, like y'all know my daddy is really tough. And I remember one day they was playing and Boosie headbutted my daddy for fun when he was like 3 years old. Like he was like, boom, like, and he immediately, he got a cherry on his head. And my daddy, literally tears was in my daddy's eyes. And he was like, boy, oh, you know, my daddy was holding his head and Boosie was falling out laughing. Just, I mean, he was cackling so hard. And my dad said, that boy tough. That boy's tough. And I'm just like, Daddy, that is not normal. I said, that is not normal. Like a kid would have cried over that. Like, even if he, you know, like he would have cried. Like, you know, whatever. So I would notice, like, we would take them to get shots where, you know, most babies would cry when they get, you know, their shots or whatever. He wouldn't even blink. He would sit there, look, get a shot, and just. So I told his doctor, I said, you know, something's not adding up. I said, something's not right. So I need y'all to figure out something. We started doing these testings, these sleep studies, like all of these things. And then she comes back and she tell me, well, you know, we're thinking that he has SEPA. So I'm like, okay, I'm not really knowing what that is, but of course I had to do my own research. And I was like, wait a minute. I said, the inability to feel pain. Y'all, that broke my heart because pain can teach us lessons that we might not otherwise learn. We have to go through pain. And, you know, people back in, you know, the OG cyber family members, people would always say, why would you want your child to feel pain? What? Until you're in somebody's shoes to have a child that cannot feel pain or process pain, you will never understand. That is one of the hardest walks of life. Like, you literally have to be their eyes, ears. You have, like, he could break something I would never know. You know, it's like, it's just, it's the scariest thing. You know, it was just like you want your child to be able to feel some level of pain, you know, so they can learn. If he put his hand on a hot stove or put his hand near heat and I tell him, oh, that's hot, he wouldn't know. And he would touch it and his whole hand will blister up in it. And what lesson is that teaching him? Like, kids have to endure some type of pain on an appropriate level in order to learn lessons that we might not be able to teach them otherwise.
I hate this man.
So, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, it was just rough. It was just rough. Just, you know, trying to make sure that he was so rough as younger. Like, he was so freaking rough. Like, I just could not. And I'm like, he would want to climb on stuff, just jump off of it, like just rough boy stuff. And I just remember praying like, God, please, I can't, you know, like I just can't. So we went, my grandma passed away and we was over at my aunt's house for, you know, having dinner or something. Meeting with the family. This is before my grandma's funeral. And he was running, him and Maggie, running, back and forth. And I kept telling him, said, Boosie, sit down before you get hurt. Sit down. What did he do? Boom. Hit the table, fell into the wall.
Don't you dare say it.
Split his tongue right off. Split it. The whole tongue was barely hanging on by a strand. My entire family, of course, because my grandma had just passed away. So we were all at my aunt's house. And my entire family froze. And, of course, at first, it just looked like he just hit, you know. So I'm like, stop running. Because he didn't cry or anything. I didn't even know anything was wrong with his stomach. Then I just seen my husband whole demeanor just change. And he was like, oh my God. And when Boosie turned around to me, blood was everywhere. It was running down his face. Blood was everywhere. And I'm like, what? You know, my mama ran over there. My aunts ran over there. They like, what is going on? You know, blood, you know, and then I just seen my aunt say, oh, his tongue. And I'm just like, oh God. Mind y'all, we in the middle of planning my grandma's funeral. Now I got to go to the hospital. He was in there, blood, tongue. He split his tongue so bad that the doctor said that for tongues, it's nothing you can do. They have to heal up on their own. But he had split it so bad that they ended up doing the doctor said, well, this is the first time that I'll be doing stitches on the tongue, but he has to have the stitches in the tongue in order for him to be able to talk. He said, because we're going to have to put that back on there. Mind y'all, this boy ain't cried. Not one time. I'm crying. Ricardo dang near in tears. My mama is crying. My aunt and them, they all over the place, you know, whatever. So, you know, we at the hospital and the doctors are like, they're like, are you all like, he is not even crying. He just so tough and da-da-da. I was like, he can't feel it. He can't feel it.
I don't care.
And he like, let me tell y'all when he cried. The nurse started asking him questions. And he said, she said something. She said, well, you're not going to be able to eat pizza for a while because you don't want that sauce and it's going to burn. You're not going to be able to eat pizza today. You're not, because he wanted pizza. Because pizza was at my aunt's house for the kids and he wanted that pizza. And he was like, he started bawling. So she was like, you're crying because you can't eat pizza, but you're not crying because your tongue is split?
I want pizza. No, I'll be like this.
The pain disorder also causes you to have a very high tolerance for anesthesia or whatever, right? For whatever reason. I don't know. But so the doctors go back. Let me rewind just a little bit. So he had to get a procedure done on the bottom of his jaw teeth. And she said, well, we got to sedate him. And so she was like, but I'm going to give him the lowest sedation. And I said, that ain't going to work. He's going to wake up. And so she was like, okay, well, I'm just give him a little more. So she gave it to him and she was like, I'll be back in 5 minutes and he should be kind of good. And she came back. He was still up on that damn phone looking at. So she was like, well, I'll give him a couple more minutes. 15 minutes go by, 20 minutes go by. He's still. So she was like, I'm just going to give him a little more. Another 30 minutes go by. She comes back. She was like, I mean, should we proceed? She said he needs the procedure, but I'm so scared. I was like, he's not going to feel it. You've given him as much that you are allotted to give him. You can do the procedure. She does the procedure and she's like, oh my gosh, like I have never seen this happen. So fast forward back to the hospital. I'm explaining to the doctor. So he's like, well, we're going to give him this anesthesia. I said, well, do y'all have some? I said, because I don't want my baby waking up in the middle of this. Like, that'll be so traumatized. He was like, oh, no, this stuff, it knock out horses. He's not going to wake up, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, you know, me and Ricardo like, are you sure? Okay. So about 10 minutes into the surgery, they run out into the lobby and they come and they get us. And they're like, he's up. I said, I know you is lying. So they said, we have to give him some more. He said, but it's like an adult. It would be like an adult version of it or whatever. And so I was like, now how is that going to, he was like, well, you know, he's just going to be a little bit more groggier than usual. So I'm like, okay, well, y'all in the middle of fixing his tongue. So, I mean, I guess you would have to, you know, put him back to sleep. Because I said that he's going to wake up, and he did. So They put him back to sleep. They brought him back out there, y'all. It took my baby so long to come out of that. I've seen Ricardo cry 2 times. The first time when my kids got into that car accident, I mean, more than that, but I'm saying like boo-hoo crying. When the kids got into that car accident, and then, but the first time was when Boosie was coming out of that anesthesia, y'all, it was the hardest thing that I ever had to watch. It was the hardest thing. Ricardo was boo-hoo crying. He went over there. He just prayed, God, please let him come. Because he just looked so pitiful. He looked so pitiful. Like he could not even, it was just like, and it wasn't one of those, you know, kids go get their wisdom teeth pulled and they get up and they start saying funny stuff. No, it looked like if he don't recover from this, he would be in a vegetative state. Like and that went on for a couple hours. And it was just too much. So anyway, I'm like, Lord, I can't, like, this is too much. So we get ready to go on a cruise, right? And it's during COVID or around COVID or during COVID or whatever. And well, it was after COVID, but they were still requiring people, if you were going on a cruise, they were still requiring you to have a vaccine. And we had already planned the cruise, couldn't get our money back. So we gave our kids choices if they wanted to get the vaccine or not. And I got the vaccine. Ricardo waited. Zaria and Carly went on ahead and got the vaccine. Ayden didn't want to get it. So I said, well, that's fine. If you don't want to go on the cruise, I get it. I understand, like, we can't, but it's not, whatever. So anyway, the only person that didn't get to choose whether they was going to get the vaccine or not is Boosie. Because by that time, everybody had decided to get the vaccine. They wanted to get it. They got it. And I said, well, I got to get my baby. Got to go. So I got to go ahead and get it back. A couple days after getting the vaccine, he told me that he felt something on his arm. I'm like, okay. So I look at his arm, and sure enough, it was, where he got the shot. I don't know if whatever the bag was in it, maybe. I don't know, but to this day, I just feel like this has played a part. And if you are OG Cyber Family member, you probably have heard me say this before. In him starting to feel pain. Because that was the first time that he had ever said anything. And it wasn't like, like me. Oh, I was tore up for a couple days. Like, oh, Lord, my arm. Like, honey, I'm about down for the count. It was so sore. For those of y'all that chose to get it, you might understand. And, he was just like, Mom, something's on my arm right here. Like, something is just like, he couldn't even describe it because he had never been able to describe pain before. He did not know. He just knew that it was funny feeling. So I'm like, okay. Kind of brushed it off. So went on and, like flash forward to some other times. It's just like, well, he would do something and then he would just be like, And I'm like, did you feel it? Like, is it, so it must be some type of pressure or whatever. I don't know. So anyway, flash forward to, mind y'all, we talking about 2020, 2021-ish, probably early 2022, right? It's 2026. Flash forward to 3 days ago. He came in my room and he said, Mommy, my mouth hurts bad. And I'm like, okay, because he would play like that all the time. He would be like, oh, my eye hurt. Like, to try to garner sympathy people. Like, you know, he would be like, you do something, he'd be like, oh, I'm going, like, you know, like kids that don't feel pain still cry when you, or when they, because they know that that is this response that is going to get them the attention. So anyway, he said that he felt something. He said it really, really hurt. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, stick your tongue out. He was like, y'all, when I say my baby was able to pinpoint exactly where it was hurting, he was like, no, it hurt right here. He's never been able to do that before. My God, thank you, Jesus. Lord have mercy. So I said, okay, you know, so, and I'm looking at his face because he played too much. So I'm just like, he was like, and I could see the seriousness in his eyes. So he pulled down his lip, and he had a big canker. I don't know how he got it. I don't know how he got the canker.
Oh, yeah. I remember. It still hurts.
I don't know how he got it. But he had a canker sore right there. And I've had a canker sore before, so I know it hurt. I know how bad they hurt. I'll be down for the cat, baby. A canker sore is so annoying.
It hurts.
It hurts so bad.
It hurts.
So I'm just like, I was like, you can feel that. So I started pulling it. He was like, Mommy, yes, there. I was like, you, honey, I didn't had to celebrate, do a jig. Thank you, Jesus. I jumped up out that bed so quick. I took a picture. I sent it to his doctor. I said, my baby said he felt this today. Okay, baby, I need y'all to bring us back in, do some additional tests, and let me know what's going on, because this has never happened before. So she said, that's amazing. We'll bring him back in, you know, whatever the case may be. We'll look into it, you know, just to make sure. But I'm just hoping, y'all, that when we go back to the doctor next week, next Tuesday, and she do that test where he, you know, whatever, you know, can you feel this? Can you feel, you know, whatever. And she do that test, and he said, yeah. Now, mind you, I want to, like, body slam him just to see if it's going to hurt. No, I'm just kidding. But I want to do my own test. You know, I'm like, come here, let me get this little sharp end of the scissors. Do you feel this? Come here, let me pinch you. You feel that? So I was like, no, I'm going to wait before I be there and mess something up, child. So I'm going to go and Tuesday, and hopefully he passed, and we see, you know, what's going to go on from there. Because baby, listen, this is 8 years in the making, y'all. 8 years. 8 years. 8 years. And even though, now this is just my opinion, because I know how bad a canker sore hurt. Even though I feel like he wasn't really feeling the canker sore like somebody that probably, you know, that have been dealing with pain. So even if it's just a little feeling, I'm okay with that. Because a little is better than none. But for him to be able to localize and tell me exactly where it is, y'all, I'm telling y'all, for 8 years, I have been looking at his body, examining him all over, testing toes and fingers, you know, to make sure they ain't broke, turning them over, looking at his back, holding his neck up, baby, that is so exhausting. That is so exhausting. And then on top of that, it's scary. It's scary because he has all these bruises on him. It looked like he done been beat up, drugged through. And then this is the reason why I have kept him with the same doctors, you know, because they know us, they know our story, versus me going to another doctor. He looked beat up, he looked tore up on the floor. We already mismatched skin color. Baby, they're going to be looking at me with the dang on side eye. And you said, how does baby get hurt? Okay, I'll be right back. child protective services. But honey, you know, and then they're like, well, how did you get? I don't know. I don't know. So, y'all, I just had to tell y'all that because, baby, when I tell you, it's been a long time coming. And broke her nose. She didn't even realize it. And it's the craziest thing, Teresa, right? Like, it's the craziest thing. Hey, girl, hey. So, we shall see. I will keep y'all posted. But, you know, now I'm just like, now, he started feeling pain, and then something painful happens. And then, is he going to be sliding down the wall? Like, what is going to be the scale? You know, like, something just a little simple where we would be like, oh, because we probably experienced it before. Like, he going to be just all over the place because now he's starting to. Okay, we talking about even, right, Jen, I'll take a slight improvement versus none. So thanks be to God, honey. Whoo, Sharon, I'm talking about a long time. A long time. So hopefully we get a good report on Tuesday. And by good report, I mean he can feel it. Time ankle was hurt, and the only reason you knew, boy, done so many different things. Like, yes, when you looking and didn't even know that he had hurt his ankle. I know it's already Tuesday. We're talking about next Tuesday, not today, Tuesday. Amanda, I think so, but I can't prove it. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I think that it probably triggered something with internally. So, but I can't prove it for sure because I don't know if it was already something trickling. But I know that the first time that he ever was able to be like, and in my mind, I don't know if he just said that because he knew where she put the shot. That's what I'm saying. Like, he knew where she put the shot. And so, you know, he was just like, you know, and the way that he was acting when he said it, like, I knew that he could feel it. So I do think in my heart of hearts that it triggers something. Woo! Get ready for the Shenanigans. Girl, let me tell you something. I grew up as adult adoption really a thing. Yes, Genevieve, adult adoption really is a thing. It is a thing. Now, I don't know about everybody's state, but I know in the state of North Carolina, yes, they recognize adult adoptions. And, of course, you know, Carly is adult adopted. So, yes, it is a real thing. And I think that if adults ever have the opportunity to be a part of a family and they want to be adopted, I think they should go and do it. And it's like $350. So, yeah. Not that bad. It's $350. And the adult can make a choice. They actually have a choice whether they want to be a part of your family or not. Or, you know, if they want to be adopted or not. If they want to change their name or not. You know, they have the option to get all of their records before the adoption. Like, it doesn't erase anything. They're grown. I mean, adult adoption is just so good on so many different levels. It really is. It's so good. It's so many good things about adult adoption. Because, again, they're not kids. You know, kids don't get to choose. They don't get to choose their families at all. And it's sad. So, like, you know, if they're in foster care, So they didn't get to choose their biological family, and for whatever reason, the biological family couldn't take care of them, so they went into the foster care system. They didn't get to choose the foster parents, and then they get adopted through foster care. They didn't get to choose the family that adopted them, and so it's just like there is no choice. But there are options. There are options that before I adopted, I really didn't really know about. But after, you know, and I know this might sound like a little hypocritical, but afterward is Jordan's. I know that's right. Come on, Jordan. But afterward, you know, in hindsight, just looking back and thinking about it, and just after the research and all of the things that I've been doing since then, and advocacy and all of that, I really do think that that you could do like guardianship until the child is. You can do legal guardianship, and they still have access to all of their stuff until they're 18, and then guess what? Then they have a choice, and if you want to adopt them, then, you know. But even with legal guardianship, I don't think that it take away from you as a parent. We did legal guardianship of Carly. We started off doing temporary guardianship, and then after I was like, temporary guardianship is not going to work because it would end when the school year ended. But she was still staying with us during the summertime. So I said, what if this child get hurt or something like that? Or she gotta go to the dentist, or, you know, any old thing. Like, I need to be able to, you know, move through the system legally with her. You know, if something happened, I need to be. So yeah, we just ended up getting permanent guardianship over her. After about 2 years of her living with us. And, you know, we was going to adopt her when she was 16. And I was like, you know what? If you waited, if you're 16, you might as well just wait. And if you're still wanting to be adopted when you're 18, we'll go from there. But yeah. How do you part? It's, you know what, I was gonna say something real funny, but I'm not. I'm not. But so I want to be realistic. The reality is, when children come into your foster home and they're with you for an extended period of time, you're going to get an attachment to that child. Period. You're going to have some sadness when they leave. Period. However, when I never got into foster care to adopt, and I think that was the number one thing. I didn't want to adopt nobody kids. I got into foster care, but I just wanted to help until you was able to get back on your feet, baby. You know. But I always kept in my mind that the children would leave when their parents got back on their feet, or when the parents finished their plan. So I always had in my mind that they would not be a permanent part of our family, but they would be a permanent part of our family, right? Because if you build a good relationship with the biological families, they'll still call you after the kid is out of foster care. Trust me, I know. They'll still add, you know, and if you have a relationship with their child, you want to continue a relationship with that child, then you will have to have a relationship with those parents. But I also think that people should understand why they're getting into it in the first place. 18 kids. And the crazy part is, Ayden was our first kid and Boosie was our last. Open shut. 18 kids. But when I say last, meaning last long-term foster care. At 4, I was like, no. First of all, after Boosie was adopted, we didn't have space. Like, she told us that we would have to close our foster care down, because now, since Boosie was no longer in foster care and he was adopted, that we would have to have a separate room. And I was like, okay. At the time, we was living in a 4-bedroom. We was living in a 5-bedroom house at the time. And it was already Zari, Carly, Ayden, and Boosie, and us. And I was like, oh, well, okay. So I said, well, what can we do? So she said, well, if Ayden and Boosie, since they're brothers, they're adopted now, they can sleep in the same room, and then you can leave that room open. And I was like, no, because that's an 8-year gap. Boys don't want to share. I mean, kids don't want to share rooms if they don't have to with, you know, a sibling that with that such of a gap. But when we moved, we was able to. When we moved, we was able to open our foster care home back open for respite, so that the kid would be with us temporary. So I said, respite is all I have now. I can't not do did the other kids get rehomed? No, the other kids went back to their biological families, which is a blessing. I've only had 1 out of the 18 that returned back into foster care because the parents weren't doing what they were supposed to do, which I really hated, because when he came back into foster care, he wanted to come to us, but by that time our license was only for respite, and we knew that he was going to be a permanent placement. But no, they wasn't rehomed. I would have 18 kids. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it 100. Like, I would never something in me would not allow a child to go back into the system and get rehomed, or we are fostering them and then we don't adopt them because their plan changed to adoption. I would have had to adopt every single one of them. I'm sorry. Oh, she said, oh yes. So they ended up going back with their biological families and being reunified, which is the goal of foster care, to be reunified. So they were able to be reunified, and some of those kids are grown now. They're Zari and Carly's age. Some of them are 18. Some of them still call me, asking me for a cash app, asking me to support things that they're in. I have gone to several graduations and, you know, just different things like that. But as far as my kids, Boosie and Ayden, they didn't have the opportunity to be reunified. So, but yeah, I said, oh, y'all suckers, I can have 5. I can have 5, y'all. No ham. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. Okay, please. Okay. I have 1 biological daughter. Just 1, Zaria. I do love this shirt, y'all. I do love it. Hey, girl, hey. But yeah, so if you ever have the opportunity to adopt, do it. Do it. And you can call your local social service, and a lot of the kids are aging out of foster care. A lot of kids are aging out. You know, sometimes, and I hate this, the older they get, the less likely they are to be fostered or adopted. And so they age out of foster care when they're 18, and they've never had family. Never had the opportunity to learn, you know, certain skills. And so having a family at 18 would be beneficial for them. Would definitely be beneficial. Yes, honey. Boosie is sitting over here being very quiet right now. Hallelujah. And amen. And amen. I just saw that in December of 2025, New York changed their laws to reflect that New York changed their laws to reflect that any child coming into foster care will come in with a new set of luggage, which I think that is so awesome. They said no more trash bags. No more trash bags for any child coming into the system, into the foster care system in New York. They're going, every child is going to get new luggage. And I love that, because I don't know if people really think that be a lie, but kids really do come in with a trash bag. And that's just so, that is just so, gosh.
I think right.
You thought Carly was mine. Carly is mine. Carly is mine. She is mine, honey. She's just not mine biologically, but she's still mine. Hey, mama. She not mine biologically, but she is mine, being mine since she was 13. And she was adult adopted when she was 18. Yeah, right. Debbie, if he wasn't right here, I'd be like, Christina, because where are you at? Lori, I wish that it was everybody. I wish that all states would do that. I wish that it would just be a rule with all states instead of just one or two, you know, but when one state take a step, then maybe other states will start to take steps. But also foster parents can help with that too, because when Ayden came into care, Ayden had a personalized duffel bag. And I thought that was just the cutest little thing. And what I learned was his previous foster parents got him that bag and sent it with him when he came to stay with us. Now, granted, he was supposed to go back to them. So I don't know if they thought, you know, he was coming back. But he didn't. So he stayed with us, him and his bag, you know. But his previous foster parents are amazing. We're co-parents, even though we're not really co-parents, but I love them. I love them so bad. Because they're the adoptive parents of his biological siblings. So therefore we don't have to, but I just think that it is amazing that we keep in contact, close contact, because we want our children to be together. Not all of the siblings, some of the siblings. But so he came with a duffel bag that was personalized. And so, you know, by him being my first foster child, I thought that was just the cutest thing. So of course, when other kids will come into the foster care with trash bags or clothes in your hand, Walmart bags, shopping bag, I'm just like, it's just unreal, right? So I then did what the previous foster parents did, which was get them a personalized bag, and you know, so that they could take it with them. So any kid that came into our foster care, they got a bag. I couldn't have them leaving with a trash bag from my house. Like, what is going on? Yeah, it's just so sad. But yeah. So hopefully everybody get on that bandwagon and New York is on. Because we can, you know, all stand to do a little bit better. Yeah, hey Jenna girl. We can all stand to do a little bit better. But yeah. So we shall see. Oh, Barbara, I do too. Lord, I do too. Why won't they? Don't say it. But I hate that. I hate that. I wish they would let them be siblings. Trash bag. My foster parents sent me with loads and loads of luggage. You know, and I do, you know, when the kids when it was time for them to be reunified or whatever, I didn't say, okay, well, leave that I bought here. No, I packed it up very neatly for them, and I gave it to them. It's their stuff, even if you bought it, you know. But some people are just, I mean, you know, you just will be amazed at how, and that's why, you know, when I first got into foster care, I was so like, you know, I had my blinders on or something, you know, I was just like, in it to help the children and wait on their parents to, you know, I was just like very naive. Like I did not know the system. I did not know the ins and outs. You know, I just thought that it was going to be just helping some kids until their parents was done in 6, 7, 8 months. You know, like I never thought that it could be 2 years, you know, and things like that. And it was just like, you know, the more I learned, the more I was like, okay, Savannah, slow down. I don't like it. And I've always been the type of person that spoke my mind. Now, when the blinders came off, the mouth flew open. Okay? I was like, hold on, honey. Wait a minute. And, you know, I don't know if it helped me because I did, you know, I was degreed up, you know, and so it was not too much that you could sit there and tell me, baby, we in the same, we all in human services, Pookie. Don't get me started. Like, why these kids? No, and then they started using me to help with foster care classes with other foster parents. So me and my hood, like, we were recognized because we had done so well with the kids in our foster home. And, you know, and this is not a bragging thing, y'all. I'm just telling y'all, like, so we had done so well with the kids in our foster home that they wanted to know, like, what are y'all doing? Because we need y'all to talk to other foster parents. Like, what y'all doing? Right? And so we started talking to other foster parents. They was pissing me off. I said, see, that's the problem. Y'all not vetting. I need y'all to vet. Because the other, like, foster parents, I don't want you don't have to think like me, but when you're a foster parent, should always 100% put the child's needs first, or put the child first. I just lost a baby. I'm infertile. I can't have kids of my own. So you come talking to me like that. I'm like, well, baby, you're not ready to be a foster parent. Because it's going to crush you, or you're going to crush a biological parent, and we don't need that. Denied. No. So, you know, I just started seeing some of the craziest things. Like, you can't come in foster care because you feel entitled to somebody else's child. But people do. People come into foster care and then they will sabotage the biological parent. They're you know. They're the type of foster parents that talk junk about the biological parents in front of the kids, or, you know, the longer the kid lives with you, the more manipulative you can be with that child to turn them against their biological parents. And that's sad. And I don't like that. And so needless to say, they ain't like me too much. But I was like, oh, okay, we'll deal with it. Like, you don't need to be a foster parent. Boosie look just like me and Ricardo. I know, right? I know, right? But I was like, and once I started seeing things and talk, I couldn't shut up. Then. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that people, they would say, and the things that you would hear, like when we was getting ready to adopt Boosie. And mind y'all, people, you know, when we first came out, people were, why didn't you adopt a black child? Why didn't you adopt a black child? Why didn't you adopt a black child? And I was thinking about, I was like, Boosie is the only white child that we ever had in foster care. Like, if they're Hispanic or biracial, mixed with Hispanic and black, or mixed white and black. But as far as white child, he's only ever been the only white child that we've ever had. And I'm thankful that black and brown children had the opportunity to be reunified with their biological parents. Because some people have a weird fetish. People get in foster care and have a weird fetish. You want black and brown children for what? Okay. So I would say, you know, I would start, they like here, they had a great program about like hair and, you know, like representation and things like that. And then when the parents would come and they would just be so like, I mean, I don't understand why I have to sit in this class. So you don't want to learn about the child's hair? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would just be the weirdest stuff. And I'm just like, okay, so either you in it for the check, or which around here, if you in it for the check, baby, you really, I just really don't see how you surviving, because $150, $250, $250, $275, like, who gonna be able to, $275? So when people be, you ain't funny, I be like, who? Like, $275, y'all can live off that a month. My kids wouldn't even be able to play sports. The application fee $300. But then you would hear, with Boosie, I'm like, we didn't get any post-adoption assistance. None. No post-adoption follow-up, no post-adoption classes, no post-adoption assistance, nothing. So I said, well, why? Because with Ayden, they was like, oh, she plainly said, because he white. I said, but he's still adopted. Like, so he don't get what? Oh, he's white. And at the time, he was a blonde hair, blue eye baby. He blonde hair, blue eye. Oh, y'all, it pissed me off so bad. He would be a 5-star. Like, we would not have a problem with getting him adopted out. I said, oh. I said, thank you. I didn't even really know that they was doing star tier systems. In the foster kids. I said, oh no, baby. I was just learning too much. Too much. But yeah. I said, oh, okay. So white children with blonde hair and blue eyes, they are pretty much sellable? Like, is that what you're saying to me? Like, it's just so wild and outlandish to me. Sickening is right, Liz. I said, oh. And although he had been with me since he was 3 days old, they still wanted to put him on the registry. Why would you want to put my baby on the registry? He's not getting adopted by anybody. I will beat y'all up. He had a garden at Lightham. A garden at Lightham, y'all. From the time that he was a baby until the time he got adopted, until the time he got, and I liked that guy. He was so sweet, so nice. And he said, I got to recuse myself from the case. And I didn't even know why. I didn't even know I thought that he was having some trouble. He recused himself from Boosie's case to give his daughter an opportunity to adopt my baby. He was a white guy. I said, you want your daughter to do what? Baby, see, you finna make me knock you down, sir. Like, wait a minute. Like, what do you mean? Absolutely not. So, I said, well, here we go. I couldn't even believe that he had spent all that time with us. And he did wonderful reports. Boosie is he didn't call him Boosie. He's well taken care of. The house is really clean. He has his own room. He has so much nice stuff. He's doing well. And lo and behold, soon as his plan changed to adoption, he looked at that white man and said, oh, my white daughter can have. I said, no, and y'all, I would see him every now and again throughout. I would see him, like in court. If we was to go to court for maybe another kid or something like that. And I would look over at him, and I would be having daggers toward him. Like, and then he'd be walking fast. I'd be like, Ricardo, look. He humping out of there, trying to get out my face. Like, dude. You got to be kidding me. And see, the thing about it is when you're also in the field, I've never been a social worker, but I know social workers, okay? Because I'm a therapist, and therapists work closely, or should be working closely, with the community. Therapists should not be just in those four walls sitting there talking to your client. Your client lives in the community and will have to function in the community. So it would behoove you to also see what's going on in the community. So I would talk to a lot of people out in the community because that's where my clients lived. So I knew social workers. And social workers liked me. And the social workers would tell me what was going on. And they would tell me different things like, girl, you know they canceled that appointment so that they could get the judge they want. I thought it did. Okay. Well, I know judges too. Okay? As a matter of fact, I do. Let me call somebody. Like, it was the craziest thing. Because with Ayden, they was like, do you want to adopt Ayden? His plan changed to adoption? And I was like, yeah, sure. We can do it tomorrow. Oh, shoot. Oh, okay, hold up. Wait a minute. But his mom, Ayden's mom, was there. And she was like pushing everything. You know, me and her had a conversation, and she was just like, yeah, let's, we can go ahead and, because I want to make sure he comes with y'all, and I'm like, okay, and so she was just like signing it, like, girl, read this stuff, like, read, like, and she just, and, it was just like quickly, it was just going so quick. And I'm just like, okay, it was just like one day they was like, Ayden is, his plan is moving to adoption. And then the next day he was adopted. With Boosie, it almost took a damn year. I couldn't believe it. It almost took a year because they was trying to tussle, and I was ready for them because they was playing with the right one. Yes, it is possible to foster as a single parent, as a single person. So here in North Carolina, in our area, you can be a single parent. You can be gay. You can be Christian, or you don't have to be Christian. You can be married, or whatever. You can have certain health issues, but you cannot have a felony. Okay? You cannot have a felony. All right? You cannot have unsafe living quarters. You have to have running water. You cannot be on government assistance. And your house have to be up to code. That means the fire department is going to come in, and the fire department is going to look at your house, and the fire department is going to make sure this, because y'all know, y'all ain't never heard my batteries beep. Black people get a real bad rep about the batteries. Woo, child, it's Black History Month. I might just beep them just because they're beep. Baby, them dang gone things be chirping, ain't it? we act like our houses ain't gonna never get your mind. But you ain't gonna never hear mine unless something wrong, okay? Because, baby, the foster care don't play, okay? Foster care don't play. Baby, the fire department is coming, okay? They're coming. They are doing checks on your making sure you have to have fire extinguisher close to the kitchen. You have to have it mounted. I said, okay, child. Like, they not getting ready to play. Okay? But yeah, so we also had to make sure we had water pressure. The fire chief came out. They was like, I don't know, y'all, if you're an OG Cyber family member, y'all will have remembered this, but they made us change our door. The locks on our door, they was like, these locks not sturdy enough. I was like, oh my gosh, Ricardo, you had us in here unprotected? What police does that? How didn't you know that these locks weren't sturdy? So anybody could have shimmied in our home. The fire chief was like, locks not sturdy. Okay, next. I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay, noted. Can we get those from Amazon? So So, child, they are not playing, which I'm just like, as strict as it is to become a foster parent, like, how do some of these people be squeezing through the cracks? Like, people that be having outhouses with kids in the back. Like, how like, y'all live in piss poor foster care communities. Because y'all be having the kids in the back in them little houses. Like, y'all know, y'all heard the stories of, kids. Because if y'all on my Instagram, y'all know I be posting all kind of stuff on my stories on Instagram. And I'm just like, here, you can breathe the wrong way. And they be like, do you got COPD? Because if you do, you need to update your medical record. No, I just might be coming out with a little cold. It ain't that serious, baby. It ain't that serious. They not playing around here, honey. Okay? And then because we were licensed to provide foster care for kids that had behavioral issues, whatever, behavioral concerns. We had to do intensive meetings. So our foster care supervisor would come out once a week. Child, I know you lying. Girl, and I loved her. I loved her real bad. Okay? She was so sweet. But she would have to come out here and do weekly checks. And that's what I'm saying. Like, she would come every week and just say we was sick, or, or if something, was going on, or we was going on vacation or whatever. And she was like, well, I'll be there 2 days next week. Girl, you ain't got no more families. So I just don't know how some of these people be getting away with some, like, they just have piss poor social workers, or they live in a piss poor community. Like, I just don't understand. But it's just the craziest thing, because they not playing. They not playing over here. Okay. She checking the refrigerator to make sure that the medicine is in a lockbox, behind a lockbox. Like, everything. She checking pill box. Like, she was thorough. And I love that. We should have more thorough social workers like her. But boy, that will burn you out. I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. And then sometimes the foster kids will lie. They will lie. Okay? They will lie to get out of a strict foster home. And I'm not saying strict, maybe structured. Okay? Because I don't think that we were strict. I just feel like that we were really structured. Like, y'all can play at them other people's house. You're not gonna come over here and play. You're not gonna come over here and do too much. I remember I had a little boy. And he said, I'm gonna kick a hole in your wall. I said, you gonna do what? I said, do it. I triple dog dare you. I'm gonna kick a hole in your wall. I said, okay. And that'll be the last hole you kick in anybody's wall. I said, I'm telling you now. So do it. Do it. And I said, and I guarantee you're going to be with us tomorrow. I said, I'm not going to report it. If I kick a hole in your wall, you won't report it. I said, ain't. Because, babe, I said, we both going to be kicking. Do it. He did it. This little ass did it. Kicked the hole in the damn wall. Y'all, I couldn't at that point. Like, I couldn't back down. Like, I couldn't give it up. Like, I was like, oh, okay. Oh my God. And I'm trying to tell y'all right now today, it's still one of my favorites. It be the ones, don't it? It be the ones that be your favorite. He grown now, but I mean, when I say grown, I mean like 19. Like, you barely grown, but grown. Ooh. So he did. And I, like, in my mind, I was like, ooh, if that was Zaria. like, if that was Z, oh my God, like that was all that was running through my mind, y'all. I was like, if that was Zaria, like her leg would have been twisted like a pretzel, okay? I would have bent her up, baby. Do you understand what I'm saying? Try to say, well, you know what? I said, I got something for you. So I got down on the floor because he was sitting on the floor. And he was sitting on the floor like this. And he said, I kick a hole in your wall. I kick a hole in your wall. And so I was like, I promise you. I said, do it. You know, whatever. So he was like, if I, so he talking junk with him. So then, boom, like he put his whole foot through the wall. So he's sitting on the floor. So I was like, oh, this little. So I said, okay. So I got down on the floor and I kicked a hole in the wall. We both. And then I looked at him and I was like, now what? Like, okay, and I'm still not going to report it. So now it's 2 holes in the wall. And he was looking at me like, oh, she crazy. And so I was like, I said, now go get your coat. Because now we got to go to Lowe's. Because who you think you finna play with? So now we both, and now it's 2 holes in the wall. Honey, Ricardo then came home. He was like, what is it? I was like, I'm trying to prove a point. I was like, here's. I was like, no, you're crazy. I was like, well, you might be right, but damn. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I got the stuff, but I don't know what we doing. Me and the boy was down there just cackling and putting putty everywhere, all kind of stuff. The whole night getting patched up. It's a big hole in the wall. Let me tell y'all what this house was not a bought house by me. This was a rental. Y'all, when I first started foster caring, we had a landlord. This wasn't even my house to be putting no holes in the walls. I was like, baby, you gotta patch this up. Daddy, hey. I was like, oh God. But after that, I like sometimes these kids really be trying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they really be trying to see if they can just go to another foster home. And that was his problem. He was just used to, you know, doing stuff like that and then getting sent to another foster home. And I was like, it's not going to work here, baby. The buck stops here. So after we did all that, we had a conversation. And I said, now, next time, I will call the social worker. But there wasn't a next time. We did fix the hole. we did get the hole fixed. Thank you, Jesus. And I mean, there still was small, you know, problems. He was a teenager. So, I mean, it was still small problems, but definitely not to that extent. Yeah, no, that, I remember we already had Boosie and we had got a call for a set of twins. Well, we called them twins, but they weren't twins. They was like 11 months apart. So Irish twins, but they was a sibling set. And so, you know, I'm like, Mom, you know, I was like going to the office to work. So I'm like, Mom. And my mama was watching Boosie. I was like, I got this call for these little Irish twins. And I was like, Mama, you gonna have to, can you watch them? You know, because I know that might be a lot. It's 3, you know, Boosie and them 2. And my mama was like, yeah, no problem. You know, you know, my mom was always down for the calls. Okay, she was like, yeah, I'll watch them. So I'm like, okay. So, child, we go and meet to pick up the twins. And I looked at the foster mom because she was she was like meeting to hand over to the foster care supervisor, and foster care supervisor was handing them over to me. And the way she looked, baby, like she had been drugged through there. Okay. So I was like, good Lord, she just looked so peaked. Baby, she looked like she ain't slept in 40 days and 40 nights. Like, what is going on? Honey, I said, oh, no. Oh, hell. Mind you, I told y'all, Boosie didn't cry. Of course. He never cried when he was a baby. So these two little babies was 1 and 1.5. Hollering all over the place. Hollering for days. Ain't stop. But I said, hush, shut, be quiet. I can't. I was like, wait a minute, oh my God. All day and night long. So my mama, this was like a Friday. So we wouldn't have had to go to work until the following Monday. So my mama, she would get them on Monday. So I was like, Mom, my God. Oh no, I can't do baby. Mind you, Boosie was a baby. So I'm acting like I'm postpartum. Like I done gave birth to Boosie and I'm just so postpartum, but I was depressed. So, Mama, you know I already got this baby. Like, baby, I was like, Mama's like, it's not that bad. I had all these kids at once. I was like, you were born in the damn 60s. Y'all can handle everything. Y'all can handle battery acid. The hell? Like, you're of a different caliber than me. What? Okay. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just, and Ricardo was like, he putting a pillow over his head. Zari and Carly like, Ayden, like, everybody is just in a disarray. Everybody taking turns. So Monday come. This the first day that we done had relief. So they go to school. I'm dropping Boosie and the babies off with my mama. My mama called me about noon. She was like, now look at him. I said, wait a minute, hold up. I thought you could handle. I thought you was built for it tough. Baby, what is going on? She was like, now come, you gonna have to get off work. You gonna have to get off work and come get these. And then so I get over there and I can't remember the boy's name, but my mama was calling this baby a totally different name. Y'all know we give everybody different names. So she's calling this baby something else. I was like, Mom, that is not his name. She said, come here, little baby. Come here now. Hush now. Hush. So I called my foster care supervisor. I said, look. I said, do y'all remember what we put on our paperwork? She was like, yeah, I just don't remember y'all having any preference. I said, the preference that we had was 3 and up. These babies don't qualify to be. I was like, I said, now, something is going on with these babies. They are hollering. Like, they ain't stopped hollering. And I'm sure the former foster parent told y'all this. Y'all got to figure out what's going on with these babies. So then she tells me, okay, well, it's a 2-week period. I said, a 2-week period? To do what? Y'all, this ain't even no lie. Boosie ended up getting RSV. I called her so damn quick. I said, Boosie is sick. He got RSV. He got to be in the hospital. She was like, I'm going to have to come get them babies. Oh, my God. Y'all was like, oh, my God. I don't see how people do that stair-step stuff. The Lord knew. Because when me and Ricardo were actively trying, we would have popped them out back to back. You know what I'm saying? But God knew. He was like, girl, sit down. You don't even like stair-step kids. You're not going to like them. I know you won't. You're my daughter. I know everything about you. Sit down and let me work this out for you. Okay? Child, I'm looking at Boosie, looking at, I was like, oh my God, it's 3 of y'all at the same damn time. How sway. Like, how do y'all do it? How do y'all, like, look at a human being at one and be like, I can get pregnant and have another one 9 more months and let them be Irish twins. Who, like, y'all need psychological evals, ain't it? Like, parents that got Irish twins, y'all need psychological, like, people that got twins or triplets or, God forbid, quadruplets or sextuplets. People who got that many, like, but they did one thing and then they ended up getting these babies. Y'all did that intentionally. Y'all was like, oh, let me hump again and have another baby and let them be 11 months apart. Like, y'all are glutton for punishment. No? Y'all are the goats of parenting, because there is no way in hell I would ever, like, I would look at Ricardo and be like, get the hell away from me. Like, if my plan would have worked the way that I thought that it was going to work, and me and Ricardo would have had boom, boom, it wouldn't have been a third child. It wouldn't have been no 3. I would have been like, if you don't get away from me, and I mean immediately too. So God knew. He knew to space my children out. He knew to space my children out. I am forever an age gap mama, and I love it, child. I can only take one crying baby at a time. I can only take one diaper change at a time. And apparently Ricardo asked too. Apparently Ricardo too. Ricardo was like, baby, he was just stuck on stupid the entire time. It feels like somebody's watching me. Baby, he was in a damn Twilight Zone. He could not function. He was like, Ricardo was malfunctioning all over the place. It won't stop. Won't stop, can't stop. I was like, what is going on? Everybody snap out of it. Oh, child. I'm going to ask Zari and Carly about them twins when they get back. Hey. Where you skipping to? Johnny Appleseed. I gotta watch The Children of the Corn. I have Irish twins, and you're right, when they were little, I almost lost my... Oh, they 30. See, now, Mona, that they're 30 and 31, like, that is, like, the ultimate. Like, oh, y'all hanging out, y'all chilling. But, like, to get to that space, it's like, it's no way. It's no way for 18 years that y'all doing this crazy stuff. Because it's no way. Oh, child. No, we are not doing permanent foster care placement. Not permanent, but we're not doing traditional, like, but we do respite. So if we're called, we might do, 2 days, 3 days, but we don't keep anybody's children more than a week. Okay. And let me tell you what they will call us and be like, hey, this kid is, a plan has changed to adoption. I'm going to send you a link. Don't send no link to me, baby, because I ain't going to look at it. I'm not going to look at it, because if I look at it, then now it's like, don't send me no link. I get them little emails all the time. But when I send in my stuff, I always check, no, not interested in. Woo! 11 months and 5 days apart. Baby, I bet y'all was working y'all mama nerves so bad. It's beautiful when you grow up, but baby, But yeah, y'all. But anyway, where is Ayden at? Let me check this loco. He best to come on. I'm gonna go pick up my chap. Go pick up my child of the corn. Well, Lauren, after they leave your foster care home, like, they barely come with information, but they don't really do too much sharing of information of the children. I don't know. I really don't know. It's sad to say, but I don't know if something, was wrong with them. If they was a little sick, or, maybe they had just been, maybe they had just been placed in foster care and had been just taken from mom or dad or whatever. You know, some kids just had that strong attachment. They want their mama. I mean, they're one, you know. So they probably just wanted their mama. I know, you know, Majesty is doing great. Majesty is doing great. Because has snowed so much, we ain't even been able to get out and mingle. So I thought I was gonna get to see her on Sunday at the church house, but she wasn't there. But we did go drop her a little Valentine's Day thing off on or whatever. But yeah, she is doing great. Great. But yeah. Thank you, Keisha girl. Well, anyway, y'all have a good and blessed night. I am getting ready to go pick Ayden up from school. Oh my gosh. Like, I just really want to go and get in the bed, but I gotta go pick him up from this schoolhouse. I wonder if he can walk. Okay, no. Bye, y'all. Thank you, BP Gilmore, girl. I appreciate your entire ministry. Well, Wendy, I think, I just, you know what? I can't answer that because I don't really deal too much in private adoption because I'm really not, I've never done private adoption, never thought about private adoption. But as far as foster care, you do have the option if you want to be, I mean, even with private adoption, I would assume that you have the option if they want to be an open or closed adoption. And so with foster care, it's just probably a little bit easier because you already have you should have a relationship with the biological parent or a semi-relationship with the biological parent. So, you know, it would probably be much easier to connect in that aspect. But definitely try, like the, DNA testing sites like Ancestry or 23andMe or, you know, whatever, because I know that people have found loved ones through DNA testing. So that might be good. A good way to start. From there, any paperwork that you might be able to. Now, if you go through CPS, you might be able to go back to Child Protective Services and hopefully they still have a case number or something. Maybe a redacted version of the original birth certificate in your, you know, at the state, at the courthouse or something like that. Oh, yep, hire a PI, private investigator might work. But again, I'm not too up on that part. Only because we did open adoption for all of our children. So their biological families know how to find them at any given time, and they know how to find biological family members at any given time. So I just kind of left that door open for my children. And then I will say this too, and I know that sometimes it can be a little bit hard to hear, but sometimes biological parents don't want to be contacted. That is a thing. Some biological parents don't want to be contacted. And I do think that, not that it has anything to do with your question, Wendy, but I'm just saying sometimes when kids turn 18, you know, if it was a closed adoption and the biological parents didn't want, you know, I will always caution the child should know that they're adopted from a young age. Literally by the time that they're walking, talking, when they're 1 year old, you should already be talking to your child about adoption. You should already have adoption books. You should already be talking to them about their biological family. You should be talking to them about their culture, you know, their, you know, cultural traditions or whatever the case may be. Like, the child should know that they're adopted. That's just my personal opinion, but they should know. And I also think that if they have gone 18 years and they've had a closed adoption and they want to find biological family members, I think they should be supported. But also I think that it should also be with caution. And I think that they should go to therapy at least 2 years before they do a search. That's just my professional opinion. Therapy is going to assist them with, you don't know what you might find. You might get rejected. And sometimes adopted children, not all, but some adopted children may feel a sense of rejection from early on in life. It don't matter if they got adopted as a baby. It don't matter if they got adopted when they was 2, 3, 4. They still could feel that sense of rejection. And if they have to go through that again when they're 18, 19 years old, at least they can be prepared, you know, for if it's good, it's good. If it's not, okay, well, then what are you going to do from here? Because every reunification story don't end in happy. Oh my gosh, I've been looking for you for 18 years. Oh my gosh, I was waiting on the day when I was going to see you again. Oh my, it don't end like that all the time. It don't end like that all the time. So I always caution people, get in therapy, tell your therapist, get a therapist that specializes in trauma and, you know, just different things feelings that might come along with reunification. And, you know, when your child is 16, 15, 16, and you know that they want to actively find their biological family, you go ahead and be getting them prepared because they may not be welcoming. They may not want to be found. I've had that happen before. Not with my children, but as a therapist, I've had that happen where the biological mama was like, she didn't want to be found. And the crazy part was they did a DNA ancestry kit. The DNA ancestry kit linked her to like a second cousin. And she reached out to the second cousin and was like, hey, you know, by any chance, would you know anything about my biological family? I'm adopted. And the biological cousin talked to an older family member, and the older family member said, you know what, I think that, and this is just a made up name, I think that might be, you know, Mary Ann's, you know, daughter, or daughter's daughter, or something like that. And then the next thing you know, they put her in contact with this lady, and the lady was like, the reason why I closed the adoption is because I did not want to be found, reminded. You know, it's just different reasons why biological family, you know, biological parents, because not all the biological family might be welcoming. But most of the time when the parent is not welcoming, it hurts. It's like a double slap in your face. You know what I'm saying? But there are like cousins, aunties, nieces, nephew. I mean, you don't know, you could a whole world of people out there that would love to get to know you, but it's just not the parent. And sometimes they don't hit the same. It's not the same, you know. You've been expecting this beautiful reunion with your biological mom or biological dad, and it just don't happen that way. Or parents could be deceased. So I just do think that therapy is great to have you know, be in therapy before you go doing those things. But yeah, and so I would say be careful, be cautious, but you know, go for it if that's what you feel like you want to do. And I think that adoptive parents should be very supportive. Be very supportive. Because your kids ain't gonna leave you. And that's like some of the fear that that adoptive parents have. Like, well, I didn't raise them. They mine. They wasn't at first. My kids were not my children first. They have a first mom and a first dad. And they have a first family, you know. And so, yes, I have raised them. I love them. I've loved them, care for them. Yes, I am their real mama. You know, people like, where they real mamas? Where are you looking at them? But if any of them wanted to explore more, then I would be like, okay, well, let's weigh the pros, the cons. Let's go to therapy. Let's talk about it, you know, and then we're going to come back and then we're going to go on back in, you know. So we will see. We will see. But it's just never happened like that because my children have ease of just being able to talk to biological family when they want to, when they can, you know, when they just have the access. So, you know, our family is just a little bit different, but I can just only imagine. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, Bernice. But yeah. Oh, Cammie, I love that. I love the 3 kitties. That is so sweet. Oh my gosh. I love it, love it, love it. That is so sweet. 11-year-old, give him a hug for me, girl. I love the kids. Oh gosh. Every time I look at this clock and see you don't have to be picked up till 7. I already just gets on my nerves. Can't you be picked up earlier? But anyway, well, have a good and blessed day. Let me go get my kid. Bye.